superstars, Mark going from NICA here. Thank you for coming to my final Manipulation Madness episode. I've had a lot of fun these last couple of weeks with you guys, so thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it. Today we're going to be working on stick balancing. So stick balancing is pretty easy. All you need is a stick. Now team, when you're choosing what object you're going to balance, the heavier and the bigger, the better it is to balance, because the bigger and heavier it is, the longer it will take to fall. So unfortunately today, as I'm inside, I'm going to be using this stick of dowel wood. It's not quite so long, it's about the width of my shoulders and a little bit more. But for you guys, I recommend you use something like a broom, a juggling club, or a stick a little bit longer than this, so it's a bit easier for you guys. Now of course, if you don't have access to those things, something just this size is going to be alright as well. So we're going to dive right on in today and start out with looking at our stick. Actually, you know what? I'll show you first. So with object balancing, the idea is you want to keep your base, the bottom of your stick, under the top. So here we go. This is me doing my object balancing. My focus is to try and keep my hand under the stick. Whoop, 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 whoop. Now team, when you're doing object balancing, I like to think about gluing my elbow into my side. That means I can keep it there nice and still. And what I do is I move from my shoulder joint, my arm. Yeah? So while keeping my elbow trying to stay nice and close to my waist, my hand can still move quite a bit. When you're object balancing, you also don't want to think about throwing your arm out and away, because that makes it really, really tricky. Alright? So the first thing we're going to do with your object is we're going to balance it on our middle finger. Okay? So make sure to put it just here on the end of our finger. Glue that elbow to your side. Now, what you want to do is focus your eyes up on top of your stick. And remember, you're going to make sure the stick is nice and straight before you go. You don't want to start with your stick leaning forwards, backwards, or to the side. You want to have it going completely up and down. From here, once I have it nice and steady, I'm getting ready to move my arm, keeping my elbow locked in nice and tight to balance, and try and keep the base of my stick under the top. Now, if you're walking and running around like crazy, just remember, keep that elbow in nice and tight to your waist, okay? Let's try it one more time. So let's reset. Glue that elbow in, stick on the finger, looking at the top, not the bottom of our stick. We're going to try and balance it 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep that hand moving. Keep your base under your top. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, team. Maybe shake out those wrists if you need to. That's really, really good. What we're going to do now is we're going to try 5 more times, 1 for each finger. Okay, so we'll start on the pinky and make our way to the thumb. We'll try and hold it for 10 seconds on every single finger. Now team, of course, remember to pause the video and practice if you need to. If you're dropping, not quite making it to 10, pause the video, practice getting to that 10, and then unpause and keep moving on. Let's start with our pinky. So the stick is nice and straight, looking at the top, elbow in nice and tight for 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. Nice work, team. Remember, we're going to allow your body to move, but keep your elbow hooked in. Let's go on to our ring finger on our right hand, our dominant hand. So looking up at the top of the stick, we're balancing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That one's a bit tricky, isn't it? Alright, crew, moving on to our middle finger. Remember, you want the stick to face directly up before you start. Make sure it's not leaning forward, and we're holding it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whoa, I got a bit wild there. How did you guys go? We've got 2 more fingers to go. Let's go with our index finger right next to our thumb. Looking up at the top of the stick, pulling that elbow in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, crew. Now it's time for the thumb. Now the thumb can be a bit tricky. Your hand might not enjoy being in that position very well. Now for my thumb, I actually have to put the stick on the edge of my thumb, just a little bit like this. Some people can keep it completely flat. It just depends how your wrist moves. Some of you, your wrist might not be able to get into the right position. You can even try maybe balancing it on your thumb's fingernail if you wanted to. Let's see how we go. We're going to try and hold it for at least 7 seconds, hopefully 10. Here we go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, superstars. Shake out that wrist. Alright, crew, so now we've done all our fingers. We're now going to glue our fingers together and balance it on our whole hand. So team, I still recommend you go at the very edge. If you want an extra challenge, you could try and go in the middle of your hand. I'm going to try in the middle of my hand because I just realized I haven't done it for yonks. So remember, stick facing straight up. Let's make sure our feet are wide. That's one thing I should have said. Looking up the top of the stick, and we're balancing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, oof. I've already messed up. That's okay, we're going to do it again. Reshake that hand out. Find a good position on your hand. We're going to hold it for 10 seconds. Here we go. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright team, awesome work. So that's just our hand, right? So we've done all our fingers, we've done our palm. We're now going to do the back of our hand. So we're going to close our hand up into a little fist. We're going to balance our object on our fist. Now of course it's the same kind of idea of looking up at the stick, okay? Making sure you're starting nice and straight, not here, 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 or here. Making sure you keep your face out of the way as well. So we're looking up at the top of the stick, and we're going to balance for 10 seconds. Here we go, for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job team, especially if you beat me and was able to hold it for the whole 10 seconds. Let's do that one more time. Holding that palm out nice and straight. Make sure your wrist isn't dropping down or pulling up. Looking up at the top of the stick. 4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, superstars. So, people balance the sticks on all strange places of the bodies. Someone might try and balance it on their knee. Others balance it on their elbows. My favourite place to see someone balancing a stick, broom, sometimes even a chair or a milk crate, is on the chin. So with this one team, you want to make sure you have lots of space around you because you don't want to be tripping over anything, alright? What you want to think about doing is remembering the basics, keeping the stick nice and vertical. It can't lean out to the sides before you start, okay? With your chin, you want to put the stick or object you're balancing at the flattest point. Some of you might not have a very flat chin, that's okay. But what you want to do is get your chin tilted all the way up. You want to try and get it as flat to the ceiling as possible. From here, placing the stick and finding a nice flat purchase where at least one edge of the stick is pushed up into your body. Now, of course, when you're in this position, you might think the stick is straight up and down. To me, this looks straight. That's actually not true. I actually need the stick to be really quite high, almost kind of above where I feel like my nose would be. So if it was bouncing on my nose, it feels like it's in the right position. Yeah, so make sure you're not accidentally angling out in this direction. It must be nice and straight. When you're balancing with your chin, you actually are trying to move your whole body under the stick. It's not just about moving your head like this completely at the start. Ultimately, that's where you want to end up, but it's okay now to be a little bit more fluid. Just don't do any big movements because the stick is going to go flying. Let's give this a go, shall we? Now, I'm going to count in my head. You guys feel free to do the same. Tilting that chin back, putting that stick up. Make sure it's nice and straight. I'm going to hold it in 3, 2, 1. Nice work, superstars. So the trick is, of course, to make sure you stay nice and focused and you're looking up at the top of the stick. Okay, let's go one more time. So, make sure it's nice and straight, vertically up in the air. Tilt that chin up, hold it for 10. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Nice job, superstars, really good work. So today we've balanced on our fingers, our palm, the back of our hand, and our chin. It's a really cool party trick to bust out when you're at, say, your next birthday party with all your friends, or maybe at Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate at the end of the year. Alright, superstars, that is me. That is the end of our manipulation circus workshops. Thank you so much for joining. I've had a blast. I hope you've enjoyed the juggling, the poi, the spoon balancing, and of course the stick balancing. It's been a pleasure, and guys, just thank you so much for participating. It's so nice to know that the community still exists even when we are in lockdown, and hopefully we will all see each other again in real life very soon. Bye everyone!